Welcome home, brave heroes. I'm Ash, and I promised high-quality behind-the-scenes content for my special channel members who pay money to actually watch videos, and boy howdy, we are going to be delivering on that promise today as I take you along with me on my date with a goblin girl. This is a solo journaling RPG by Twisting Toxic. It offers you, the dater, a chance to go on a date with a goblin girl. It's a kind of short experience. It's a complete front to back thing. We're going to get through the whole thing, I think, in this video. And something about me, if you don't know already, I have a little bit of an affection, a little bit of a special place in my heart for goblin girls. I find these creatures to be very lovely at times. Yeah, it's a subjective opinion, all right? Don't worry about it. And I just love their mischievous default setting. Will this be the goblin girl that we date? I don't know. We're going to dig into that. This is going to be an RPG, so we are going to have to roll some dice. We're going to have to make some decisions, and we're going to see this through. So come along with me. Let's meet our date. I'm excited. Hope you are too. By the way, this is a free PDF. You can pay what you'd like. I'll put a link to it in the description below if you'd like to date a goblin girl as well. And if you are a person of such a culture, I salute you. However, hands off mine. This is the world's greatest goblin dating game, brought to you by Twisting Toxic. In this game, you will embark on a solo, narrative-driven experience of taking a goblin girl out on a date. By drawing cards from a deck, you will discover new details about your date, be subject to random events, and make your way through an evening of romance, lust, and chaos. There are links to virtual dice and virtual cards right here in the PDF. The link for the dice roller is Tactical Tokens. The link to the card drawer is missingdice.com. It's kind of ironic. Those are like switched in name. The game can take place in any setting that allows for a dinner date. This could be a tavern in a medieval fantasy world, a classic American diner from the 60s, or a cyberpunk bar in a dystopian future. Several options for likes and dislikes assume a modern setting. You are encouraged to be creative when it comes to interpreting these prompts in the context of the setting. What could technology mean in a traditional fantasy world? What kind of fishing does she enjoy in a cyberpunk future? And if a roll doesn't work, don't be afraid to re-roll. Step 1. Who are you? To begin, you should decide who you will be during the date. I think I'll just be like a rogue elf version of myself. What do you look like? It's me. What's your occupation? I'm a rogue. How long have you been single? For the purposes of this video, I'm a bachelor. What are your hobbies or interests? Roguing and adventuring and goblins. What's your relationship with your family like? Rogues don't talk about family. It puts them in danger. What motivates you? Roguing, adventuring, and goblins. What kind of first impression do you normally make? Hi, I'm Ash. I'm into roguing, adventuring, and goblins. So sleazy and kind of creepy. What's your biggest strength? Roguing it. No, I'm kidding. My ability to devise plots on how to succeed during prep time. Step 2, who is she? As with the player character, the goblin girl could be a pre-existing character or an entirely new creation. You can either select from or roll randomly on the tables on the next page to determine height, body type, bust size, hairstyle, hair color, eye color, extras and accessories, and fashion style. That's what we'll do. Completely random goblin. As an optional feature, you can roll for her goblin species. And we will do that. There are 12 goblin species here, all drawn up here by Twisting Toxic to kind of help illustrate what kind of goblin this is. Now, this particular art style, or at least these representations of the goblins here, they don't quite suit me. So we'll take characteristics from these. Actually, there's a disclaimer right here. My art style has changed a fair bit since I drew these, so newer goblins will look slightly different. And yeah, we've seen evidence of that already. In addition to her physical features, you should determine a handful of personality traits. To get started, it's recommended your goblin has 2 traits, 1 like and 1 dislike. Throughout the game, you'll learn more about your date, so a smaller starting list leaves room to develop her personality. She may even start as a total mystery, but at least one aspect of her drew you together for a date. The fact that she's 4'11" and green. Okay, we've got tables. What kind of physical features do we have here? Small, average, tall, very tall, which is over 4 foot in the goblin. Oh, I imagined a very tall goblin then. Body type, bust size, hairstyle. We've got personality traits here, including logical, lazy, dominant, sensible, mature, agreeable, arrogant, pessimistic, cowardly. We have all kinds of the hair colors, all kinds of the eye colors, including heterochromia. And then we've got some other features like scars, tattoos, birthmarks, glasses, freckles, her style, which could be elegant, punk, streetwear, gothic, and her optional species. She has likes and dislikes, but if I roll a 2 for board games on the dislikes, I'm going to, I'll probably cancel the whole thing. I'm going to cancel the date. She got to like board games. All right, so we're going to roll 4 d12s for her height, body type, bust size, and hairstyle. Let's go. Number of dice, 4. Number of sides, 12. Modifier to add, none. Roll. Oh, that's, okay. I see how the dice roller, or let's try this again, actually. Plonk. Oh, it just gives me the totals. Let's do it one at a time because it's more dramatic that way. All right, we've got an 11. She is tall. She's between 3 foot 7 inches and 4 foot. So we're going to say she's 4 foot because I would rather she be slightly taller. 4 foot's not tall in the slightest at all, in any way, shape, or form. But for a goblin, it's tall. All right, we're rolling another d12. Let's go. We got a 4. Her body type is average. All right, so she's kind of putting off half goblin vibes already. There's nothing wrong with that. Roll another one for a 2. That's bust size. It's a small bust. That's fine. We're not picky. We're not here for, we're here to make a genuine connection with the hypothetical goblin female. What kind of hairstyle does she have? This is arguably the least important, but I do like good hair, so 5. Her hairstyle is bangs. She's got bangs. She's got cute bangs. Okay. I don't know exactly, I guess we don't really have like length of hair here. So we're just going to imagine, I'll tell you what I imagined so far. This lady here is Hulkenberg from Metaphor v Fantasia, which is Atlas's newest game. And this is the kind of bangy hairstyle I really like, depending on the character. But this is the kind of hairstyle our goblin will have tonight. In fact, if we just color this character green, this might actually be our date. Let's continue. The other physical features require 5 more rolls of a d12. We got an 11 and we got a 4. She has gray hair, and red eyes. Gray hair and red eyes. Gray hair and red eyes. Okay. All right. We're going to say not gray due to age. Okay. My goblin acquaintance here can be in her 30s, that's fine, but she doesn't have to have gray hair because of age. It can be dyed gray, or it could just be a natural fantasy gray. Red eyes. Piercing red eyes with gray hair and green skin. All right, that all meshes. I think I got a picture in my mind. All right, we need an other, a style, and a species. 1d12, 5, 6, and 4. She has a scar. She has a business style. And she is a swamp goblin. All right, hold on. I'm not re-rolling anything. This is who I decided to swipe right on. She has a business style. So she's coming in dressed, I'm not going to say like in a suit or anything, but maybe she's got like, well, that's the thing. If we have a style, what is she wearing to the date that reflects that we can see that that's her style? Is she just wearing her work clothes? Maybe she is just wearing her work clothes. So if she's business, so she could work in a call center. She works in an outsourced goblin call center. It's taking all of the orc jobs away. All of the elves are in a tizzy about it, but the most successful elves are the ones that decided to branch off and go run goblin call centers. All right, so our elf, our goblin, she has gray hair. It's got kind of a bluish tone to it. That's because I had it selected. Red eyes. Is a swamp goblin. So the lower right one right here, the swamp goo represents outer layers of trappings. Okay, so the important takeaways here is that she has freckles and she'll have a scar. And as far as business goes, I think our model for this is actually pretty perfect. She's already very elegantly dressed. I'm going to do a very sloppy job of getting all this highlighted. So swampy, she's going to be a little bit more of a teal, maybe a darker green. All right, I think that works out. And then finally, we want the darker spots. Yeah, there we go. Not too bad. All right, bit of a hack job, but I pretty much got this under control. Where should her scar be? We'll roll a d12 for where the scar should be over the, and it's 6 and under is left side of the face. It doesn't matter, actually. 4, a d4, mouth, cheek, eye, face, mouth, be over the mouth. And we're going to use the pencil tool. So we're really just, there we go. It's been an inconvenient accident that caused this. There she is. There is our goblin girl. She's not looking too much like a goblin. All right, it's time for personality traits. And we have 6d6 to roll. No. We have to roll a d6 and then we have to roll a d10 together. In other words, we need a random number from 1 to 60. And we need 2 of these. So we're going to do 1 dice with 60 sides, no modifier. Roll it. I got a 25 and I got a 53. That's not quite. Is that really how I want to do that? That's not really how I want to do that. Let's do 1d6 and 1d10. So bam, we got a 6 and a 10. That's a 60. That's the very last one, no matter how we slice it. All right, I'll remember that. So 1 more d6 and 1 more d10. 3, 1, 3. So 1, 3, she's extroverted. And then 6, 10, she is pessimistic. Wow. Okay, so this makes sense. Her pessimism is due to her business nature. And because she entered into her business because she left her adventuring life. She left the adventuring life because she met with some misfortune. She got a little bit of a scar. She thinks that makes her unlikable or unapproachable. And she has actually used this to her advantage in her business, not in a customer service role, but in more of like a data collection analyst, leave me alone, I'm working type role. And she takes it very seriously because she's pretty good at it and she's been pretty successful at it. And I can tell this because she's extroverted and she's told me all about it. She got on the dating app because meeting people was just not working out for her. Her job gets in the way. She's got a scar on her face that she's very self-conscious about. She's finally decided to open up, break away, get in some her time, and she wanted to filter out all the fools by making a dating profile, which arguably does not work and actually has the opposite effect. But not in this fantasy world where the dating app is full of lovely, fantastical, mythical creatures like goblins and elves that own call centers. Okay, she's been telling me about herself and her likes and dislikes. For this, we're going to have to roll a d4 and a d10. 1d4, and I got a 4, and 1d10, and I got a 2. So 4 and 2 for her like. She likes writing. She likes writing. This must be why we both swiped right on each other. I love writing. And if she likes writing, that means she likes to sneak in a little bit of writing on her work PC or perhaps during break. She maybe likes to maintain a blog about business trends or writes about nerdy stuff that she is really enthusiastic about within the realm of getting attacked by ladybugs again. Within the realm of data analysis. She'd have to be really passionate about it to maintain a blog about it, but I admire that quality in her. What does she dislike? Don't dislike board games or the date has to be called off. 1d4 and 1d10. Don't do it. Don't do it. That's a d8. 1d4, 3. 1d10, 5. 3 and 5, she does not like gambling. We are fine. We are 100% in sync. I don't like gambling either. Scratching a lottery ticket from time to time is fine, or yeah, that's about it. The overall culture of gambling is something that I just dislike completely. I don't even like free-to-play games. I got a sponsorship deal from a small company that was very, hey, we have some gambling stuff, and I just didn't even take it. People who do take that stuff and are just trying to secure the bag, that's fine, but I don't want to be spreading that around. It was a super small deal anyway. I'm happy with this. This is an actual date that I would go on as a bachelor. All right, so conflicting results, we don't have to worry about it. We don't have conflicting results. She actually meshes really, really well. We're going to set the scene now. How did we meet? We were definitely swiping on a dating app. Did you have a shared taste in music when you met at a concert? No, I actually was like, she is super cute. I like her scar. It's endearing, and her spots, and she looks really, really pretty in her picture, which pictures sometimes don't match the real date. But you know what? I'm pecking through. I'm looking at her gallery. I'm not Facebook stalking, but I'm just looking at all the pictures on her profile that's on the dating app. And they're all pretty consistent. She's having fun. She takes pictures. She's pretty reserved in the pictures. Like maybe she doesn't really know how to get out and do stuff. I like that. I'm hooking right into that. And then I'm also feeling like maybe she's a little bit out of my league. Maybe she's really serious and passionate about her business stuff and she likes her data analysis job. And I'm going to come off as kind of goofy and immature. But you know what? This will still be fun. Why are you going on a date? Because we both matched. The app was like, hey, it works. And then we started up a chat and I opened with my famous killer, which is, hey, just the lowercase h, hey. I'm like, hey, Did you know the more ease you put in the word hey, the more interest it shows? And then she replied with just an H. Just, where are you going? The game takes place at a dining establishment, but it's up to you what kind of place that is. I guess this will have to be modern because I already made a lot of references to dating apps and businesses and all of that. And I could take this way back to medieval times. I could make the business aspect of it make sense, but I won't. This is fine. It's just going to be completely modern. We meet in a small city, sort of. It's not out of the way. It's right on the main street, but it's not a very popular or like overly populated at all restaurant. Something like Panda Express. With the stage set and the characters made, it's time for step 4, the actual date. Write the introduction scene before drawing any cards to help set the mood. How was the journey here? Who turned up first? How long did you have to wait? Eventually, you sit down together. What does she look like? Does she seem pleased or annoyed? She seems a bit nervous. And I'm probably a bit nervous too, but I'm going to try to get the energy good, get the vibe good. Who speaks first? If you want guidance on how to get started, we both greet each other. We're both adults. We're not all doki shy. We are trying to genuinely make a connection here, but it's time for a starting point. We roll 1d12 and we get a 6. You bring a small gift for her. What is it? Does she appreciate it? What do I get for her? I guess I bring her a mini. I go ahead and bring her a 3D printed mini of a goblin, maybe, or of, I don't know. We were talking about movies and she told me what kind of movie she liked. And I immediately was like, oh, I have a 3D model file of a prominent character in that movie. I can go ahead and print that off and give it to her as a little gift, just to show that, you know, I spent a little bit of time, which was the time invested in printing, slicing, and all that. Okay, step 4, the date. The date itself takes place as cards are drawn from a shuffled deck, guiding your writing with prompts. Hearts represent lust, diamonds represent her goblin nature. That's absolutely, yeah. Clubs represent the environment, and spades represent traits. Once your setup is established, draw a card from the deck. The card prompt gives inspiration for the scene, and you write your interpretation of the result. Once satisfied, the next card can be drawn, and the date progresses. The date ends when a set number of kings are drawn. For an average length game, ending on the second king typically provides the suitable number of events. Ending on kings is only a suggestion. The cards provide some of the more impactful prompts that lend themselves to finishing the night. Optional, Joker, and Chaos events. I like those, actually. There, we have a silly caricature of what a king goblin card might look like. It's time to draw a card, but I'm going to show you all the rest of these lovely little art pieces that were put in with this PDF. Oh, she's an artist. Cute. Let's go ahead and draw our card. Shuffle. Oh, and we're going to go ahead and include the jokers. This could completely ruin the date, but that's okay. Our first card is the 6 of diamonds. A nearby table is vacated, leaving some food or valuables behind, which your date notices and decides to try and claim for her own. Are you surprised and appalled, or do you join her? I am. What's on the table? Valuables? I don't think that she would be the thieving kind. Food? Yes. I think we had some people at a nearby table that were pretty classy, elves perhaps, and one of them they didn't touch their dish at all. They left it at the table, and they both paid, and they got up and they left, and she looked over and she was like, do you want to try those toasted raviolis that the snooty elves didn't like? And I'm like, yeah. And she reaches over and grabs it. We have an understanding. It's fine. It's good. We draw another card. Whoops, put that back. What are you doing? We draw a 6 again. The Queen of Clubs. That's an interesting shape. What the heck? It's supposed to be a queen, I guess. All right. This is the environment. The queen. During your time together, you notice the type of humor your date appreciates. Is it something you understand and also find funny, or is it obscene in a cute kind of way? Roll a trait. I'm liking this. Let's roll a trait. The trait is a D6 and a D10. What kind of humor do you like? Date. 1. It's a 3 and a 1. Ambitious. I don't think that makes a lot of sense. Ambitious humor? Nah, let's go again. 1d6, 1d10, 1-8. And then if that doesn't work out, 1-7. Did I do that backwards? Did I do 3 and then 1? Or did I do 1 and then 3? That wouldn't have worked either anyway, so. Innovative, curious, these don't work. We're gonna try one more time. Roll a d6, we got a 2. Roll a d10, we got a 6. 2 and 6, depressed. All right, now we're getting somewhere. She likes self-deprecating humor. She makes little references as to how she has to go goblin mode most days because she can't bring herself to get out of bed. Then she laughs it off. It's definitely something endearing about that. This is kind of like a little hidden cry for help. It's showing that she is establishing some trust, though. What's next? 6. And by the way, I don't have a problem with that kind of humor. I can be edgy, but also I could try to navigate that in a way that's like, well, I'm not going to be insensitive if she is prone to depression. So 6 of hearts. I'm getting way too into this. Time for something that represents lust. You catch your date stealing glances at you when she thinks you're not looking. What part of you is she drawn to, and how do you react when your eyes meet? Do you call out and tease her, or is she quick to move on to a new topic? Very cute. I think I'd take the opportunity to just sit closer. We'd be sitting on opposite sides of the table. I picture a booth, seating, so I move over, and now we're catty corner because I'm seeing that she's more comfortable. Time for another card, and it's the King. That's something we could end on. King of Spades. A major event disrupts your date, grabbing everyone's attention. Maybe a power outage steeps the room into darkness, the head chef quits dramatically, or a guest has a near-death experience from choking on a peanut. If this is your endpoint, King, the event is so impactful that the establishment has to shut down for the night. This end may be so disastrous that you and your date part ways, or perhaps you decide to continue your date elsewhere. I think it's late enough that we go ahead and part ways, but we do so pretty amicably. She's got to work and stuff. She made time for, let's get this picture off of this particular gobbo. Let's get on to the artist. This is a cute one. Nothing against the previous one. Just, maybe, I don't know. It's, what are we doing? Bit of power outage. And the owner comes out and he's like, we gotta shut down because of city ordinance. So we do share a walk to the bus station though. We do walk together and talk, and I make sure to tell her we had a great time, or I had a great time, and I definitely want to do it again. On a day where she's more free. We've had a little bit more trust established. We don't have to meet up in a busy restaurant in the middle of a populated area of the city for safety reasons, or I guess that would be a good idea for the first several dates. But in any case, I think it went really well. We can expect another date with this goblin who has no name. But as for this particular episode, why didn't I just end the scene on this? Like, why didn't I leave this up? This is the actual goblin that we're dating. Anyway, I'm all dated out for today. This is going to be one for the record books. I'm not sure if this is less or more pathetic than playing D&D solo. And if you want to play D&D solo, Ginny D has a great video on that. I'm just kidding though, by the way. I don't actually think playing any game solo is pathetic in any way. As long as you're getting the right amount of challenge/reward out of it. What could be the challenge of a solo journalistic RPG? Well, the answer's right in front of our faces, right? It's the ability to just freeform write. It's just writing your way through a scenario for creative purposes. You're growing that skill set. You're trying to get better at establishing your imagination or growing the boundaries of it. That's really what this whole exercise was about, as well as having the added huge bonus of me getting to go on a date with a goblin. Be it good or bad, the date will eventually end, but perhaps the story is only just beginning. Afterwards, you may consider, how did the date go? Are you going back to her place to satiate her lust? Or will there be another date in the future? You may choose to take the same goblin on a second date. Maybe you ended up in a fist fight, or perhaps you find yourself asking out the other goblin who had been eyeing you up from across the room. Very interesting stuff. I think that was a lovely little experience. Just a quick side line here. Chaos event. One of the chaos events, if you roll a d12, your date senses the time and space is all wrong and realizes she's in a solo RPG called My Date with the Goblin Girl. Does this break her mind, or does she take the opportunity to ruin the player's game? I'm not going to tell you what I think a goblin would do in this situation. I'm going to leave that up to you. But I hope you enjoyed My Date with a Goblin Girl. If you'd like to go on your own date with a Goblin Girl, you can find this PDF on itch, and I think it's on Steam as well as a couple of other places. This would be a fun thing to have printed with its own little custom dice and its own little custom goblin playing cards. Perhaps the results of all of the playing card draws could be printed on the cards themselves. I think that would be a really, really fun product. Anyway, it's not explicit. It does hint at lewd scenarios, but definitely nothing too racy. It is only suitable for adult audiences, though, because of that. But that's it. I hope you had a good time. I did. I will see you in the next adventure. Until then, have a great rest of your day, and bye for now. Hopefully you didn't learn too much about me.